Hey YouTube, it's Neptorka here, back for another reaction video. This time we have the FeH channel for this year, 2024. I'm super excited because Bernadetta finally got her dues. She kept getting shafted so many times. I felt bad for her. Especially when it was Gulaveg last year. That really pissed me off. I guess I know how some, like, I think it was Marth people felt when Gatekeeper got in. But she's been third so many times. Very much similar, I think, to Crom, more so than Marth. So I'm glad that she finally got in, and I'm excited to see, you know, what the others look like. I love Alphonse. I hope Sharina gets in next year, so we'll see. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what we get this time. It's not like I have any orbs anyways, you know?
Flap, 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 flap.
Are we in Scarlet Monastery?
Hey! Hello, summoners! I'll be announcing today from this lovely venue. FeH! It sure is warm and cozy here.
Or is this like
Now
Asker
then,
Castle?
FeH
Castle.
have gathered some fantastic news for you summoners. Let's get started with our special Choose Your Legends edition of FeH channel.
Man, it took a while for this to be released.
First up,
They were I think they were having trouble with the Twitter
ta-da!
with
The
posting it
Choose
on
Your
X.
Legends Round 8 heroes have arrived. And of
Yep.
course, these heroes are Choose Your Legends versions of themselves. Now, let me introduce them.
Such fine clothes. I couldn't. Though, I suppose they're necessary
what a
if I'm to
letdown.
stand next to the Exalt.
It's Robin, who plays second in the women's division. She continues to
They put her
impress
in
as
male
Elisa's
Robin's
star
clothes.
tactician.
I can't
And
believe
what
they
a
didn't.
majestic outfit.
I'm actually pretty
Her
upset.
elaborate shirt and stately cloak emit a real sense of dignity, don't you think?
That's kind
A
of sucks.
fitting look for Crom's war counselor. Robin's weapon skill is Exalt's Tactics. Its main attribute is that it bestows Divine Vein Ice on spaces 2 spaces away from her after she finishes her
Wait,
action.
that's like blocks everything?
This ice
That's
is
pretty
an obstacle
sick.
that only her allies can traverse. But since
That's
it's an
pretty
obstacle,
sick.
it'll break when it's attacked. Oh, and you can still take damage from attacks while you're on top of this Divine Vein. So
Oh, that's
perch
actually
with
pretty sick.
caution.
Here to help.
Her B skill, according to plan, inflicts penalty effects on groups of foes while granting Canto to herself
I'm
and
not gonna
nearby
lie, I'm really
allies.
salty about the
I planned for
artwork.
these
Her
things.
C skill, Creation Pulse, reduces her special cooldown.
Like, they had a
count
chance
based
to
on the
make it
penalty
somewhat
effects
different from
inflicted
Male
on her
Robin,
foe
and they
before
decided to
the
just make the
first
same
attack
damn
during
thing.
combat.
Like, come
In
on.
addition, according to plan, also reduces her foe's stats and
That's a cool
increases her
animation.
damage dealt based on the number of bonus effects she has and the number of penalty effects her foe has.
How many foes have tasted my blade? Too many to count, and I assure
Why
you,
that
there will
sword?
be more to come.
Whoa!
It's
Why?
who placed
I mean,
second in
it's
the
cool.
men's
It's
division.
It's cool that he's got something
Hey.
different.
Feast your eyes on the
This is the
outfit of a
exact
sword
opposite
savant
end of the
who has
spectrum of
mastered
what
his study
Robin
both
was.
Swordsmanship and reason. That notched sword in his hand is a Levin sword.
Yeah, I couldn't
And
remember the
with
name of it.
No one will stand a chance against Felix. His
It's kind of
C
unlike
skill,
him to have-
Endless
I
Tempest,
see.
grants him 1 extra space of movement at the start of the turn. If he moves before attacking, he nullifies foe stat bonuses. Plus, his stats increase based on the number of spaces he moved.
What now?
These effects also trigger if a foe moves before attacking Felix. His weapon skill, New Levin Sword, increases stats during combat and reduces his special cooldown count by 2.
I still
This
think New
magical
Levin
weapon can
Sword's
be
kind of
effective
weird.
against foes with high defense and allows him to
But
counterattack
it's
from a
unique, so it's really
distance.
cool. And the art looks great.
And he can take extra actions with his B skill, Lone Wolf.
Gosh.
Should he
Dude, he's gonna
continue
be
to
awesome.
defeat his foes, or should he retreat? I sense new strategies on the horizon.
He's busted.
So, what do you think? Do I look fancy?
Oh, that looks so good.
Oh, it's Bernadetta! of the women's division.
Oh, that looks
She
so
appears
good.
as a bow knight. She's looking mighty strong in
Please
that
tell me
purple
it's
armor
not-
that matches the color of her hair.
It's gonna be like
Bernadetta is a
green.
talented archer.
Make it green.
And I, for one,
Please,
can't wait to
green.
be dazzled by her acute
Don't make it blue.
bowmanship.
Why do you always make blue
Her
bows?
C skill, paranoia,
She's a blue
projects
bow.
her
Frickin'
own
hell.
penalties onto her foes.
Ah!
On top of that, she grants her nearby allies paranoia too, making them more powerful if they lose just a little HP. That weapon in her hand is the Inexhaustible. If she initiates combat or has an active bonus effect, her
Oh,
stats will increase
shit.
during combat. Plus, she deals more damage based on her speed.
Okay, I'm
Curved
Her
shot?
special, Curved Shot,
Sorry,
reduces damage dealt to her in certain conditions and increases the damage she deals with her special based on her foe's stats.
Holy
Other
shit.
allies can inherit this special too.
That was
I
cute.
will work every day to be a king worthy of your legacy, Father.
Okay,
She's got my
this
hand.
was what was expected.
It's Alphonse, winner
They-
of the
I knew they
men's
were gonna
division.
Put him in his
He
father's
appears
armor.
this time in Gustav's garb.
You better not be on armor.
Oh, he looks so magnificent dressed like his father. Alphonse has grown to inherit his father's will. My heart flutters at the
Don't
kingly
be-
aura that
don't
radiates
be.
from him.
Armored. Don't be
His
armored.
special,
That's the way.
Makings of a King, can increase
Okay,
his
good.
damage dealt. And it also has an effect that empowers great talent, a
Holy
new type
shit.
of power-up. The value of great talent is reflected directly in the hero's stats. At the start of turns, and after combat in which Makings of a King is activated,
Of course.
great talent increases. The great talent that is built up does not reset until the end of the map. And if certain conditions are met, he also increases his allies' great talent, thereby adding to their stats too. Not only
Stay
that,
focused now.
but with the effect of his weapon, Majestic Glitnir, Alphonse's defense and resistance increase, and he gets +1 to his movement.
Oh shit.
His B skill, Reopening, reduces his foe's attack stat while reducing their special cooldown charge by 1. Plus,
Okay.
he does more damage based on his defense. FeH! His weapon skill and special also increase the damage he deals based on his defense, so he can
Talk
really
about
dish it
super
out.
power creeping Corrin.
After combat, his A skill, Fortifications, bestows Divine Vein Stone on the area within 2 spaces of him when he ends his turn.
The ball
And
is mine.
if he is on a space affected by Divine Vein, he can counterattack foes who attack from a distance.
Oh my gosh.
That's all for the famous introductions. The heroes chosen in Choose Your Legends
Robin
Round
is a
8 will appear
huge
in the
letdown.
new Hero Summoning event in Those We Hope.
But the others
set
look
to begin
awesome.
on August 16th. This is another special occasion where everyone can summon a focus hero of their choice for free. And they can do this up to 4 times. Once after each interval of summoning 40, 80, 120, and 160 times. FeH! Also this year, there will of course be a free summoning event.
Good.
Where you can summon a 5-star hero of your choice. Oh, better start thinking about your next pick. The Weave of Fate free summoning event, featuring heroes from the Choose Your Legends Round 6 event, will end on August 30th. If
Okay.
you haven't already, don't forget to take advantage of this free summon. And for the Grand Hero Battle this time, as a lady, I shall exterminate thy foes
It's
with
so
the
bizarre
utmost
for her
elegance.
to be a grand hero.
You will face Panette from the Fire Emblem Engage game. She is
Gosh,
Tamara's retainer and
even-
a royal warrior for
I gotta
Somme.
say, this looks
She works
better than her
tirelessly to
normal
learn how to
outfit.
behave and speak properly for a retainer.
It's so funny that all the
Grand
engaged
Hero
characters
Battle
being
Connect
put into the
Classic
game
Brawler will
look
be
so
available
much
starting
better than they
August
do
17th.
in-game. Like, it's not even close.
All of the Choose Your Legends heroes are sure plucky, aren't
Okay.
they? they had lots of impressive skills,
Robin
too.
is a massive letdown, but everything else looks
I wonder
awesome.
how they'll make
We'll go
an
back and look at
impact
their
on
skills at the
things.
end of this, because I think we can pretty much
Before we
figure out
ponder that,
everything
let's move on.
instead of doing a video tomorrow.
FeH! Starting August 15th, you'll be able to
Okay.
power up your heroes more times with dragon flowers. Each hero will be able to use them 5 more times. Because of this increase, 1,000 of each type of dragon flower
you.
will be up for grabs in the next Forging Bonds. That's a total of 4,000 dragon flowers. Sounds like your heroes could get quite a bit stronger.
I guess I should plan to spend some time in that.
FeH! What a lovely spread. FeH?
The sprites all look
Oh,
fantastic.
that's right! To commemorate the appearance of the Choose Your Legends heroes, there is a website for you to celebrate with them. It's called
Okay.
Legendary Tea Time. Find out what's brewing by using the link in this video's description. FeH, that's it for today.
Okay.
FeH, Alphonse! I'll take that scrumptious-looking treat.
So what, 2 infantries, 2...
Ugh. Oh, I'm sleepy
Cavalries?
after eating so much.
Hey, as long as there's no armor.
Now then, I should be on my way.
It's like I wish Corn was like a flying unit instead of a armored unit.
FeH. Yeah.
Alright. Dude, that was sick.
Let's
So-
get started with our special Choose Your Legends edition
Hang on.
of
Let's see real quick
FeH
what...
Channel. First up,
Let us see what this is real quick. Okay, so you can make a wallpaper. Okay. I can make my own wallpaper. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at all their talents. Like I said, Robin's is the most disappointing. They could have done something different because we already had Robin last year, and to just take his art and copy and paste it onto this Robin is an absolute, it sucks. It's a smack in the face. But let's look at her skills. I believe she has attack speed. She has flare and she has attack speed. Can't even remember the name of it. The one that heals you after after attacking. But we have Exalt's Tactics. Accelerate special trigger. If a rally or movement assist skill is used by unit, and if there's no Divine Vein Ice currently applied by unit or allies, it applies Divine Vein Ice to spaces 2 spaces away from target after movement for 1 turn. After unit acts, or at the start of the enemy phase when defending in Aether Raids, if there's no Divine Vein Ice currently applied by unit or allies, applies Divine Vein Ice to spaces 2 spaces away from unit for 1 turn. So, is this something that can only be done to yourself, or can you like apply the effect to someone else and then have them go in? Because that'd be kind of a big deal. That means that you could essentially safely start, like, you could safely start in Aether Raids, I think, this way. Let me read this again. If a rally or movement assist skill is used by unit, and so by the unit, and if there is no Divine Vein Ice currently applied by unit or allies, applies Divine Vein Ice to spaces 2 spaces away from target after movement for 1 turn. Okay. After unit acts, if Kanto triggers after Kanto, or at the start of enemy phase when defending in Aether Raids, if there is no Divine Vein Ice currently applied by unit or allies, applies Divine Vein Ice to spaces 2 spaces away from unit for 1 turn. Okay, so that it still functions the same, but that one isn't as good, I don't think. And then also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts penalty on foes, attack speed and res equal to 5, plus the number of allies within 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit times 3, max 14. Neutralizes penalties on unit, and neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge minus X on unit during combat, and also, when special triggers, neutralizes foes, reduces damage by X%, effects from non-special skills. Okay, so I'm a little worried about her DPS potential. We'll look at it in the other parts of her kit, but
tactics. Its main attribute
so
is
yeah,
that it
she
bestows
ends there.
Divine Vein Ice on spaces 2 spaces away from her after she finishes her action.
Your orders.
This ice is an obstacle that only her allies can traverse. But since it's an obstacle, it'll break when it's attacked.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can still take damage from attacks while you're on top of this Divine Vein. So perch with caution.
Here to help.
Her
Okay. Then we have according to plan. At the start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants attack speed plus 6 and Canto 1 to unit and allies within 2. Oh. It grants Canto 1 to everyone. To unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn and inflicts Hush, Spectrum, and Panic on closest foes and foe within 2 spaces of those foes through their next actions. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts attack speed res minus 5 on foe, and unit deals plus X times 5 damage, max 25, and reduces damage from foes first attack by X times 3, max 15 during combat. So flat damage reduction and also flat damage attacking. Is that what's happening here?
According to plan, inflicts penalty effects on groups of foes while granting Canto to herself and nearby allies.
So Hush Spectrum, I believe, is
Her
what Little
Z
Robin
skill-
had. And then she has Creative Pulse. If penalty is active on foe, grants attack speed plus 3 to unit during combat. And also, if unit's attack can trigger unit special, grants special cooldown count minus X to unit before unit's first attack during combat. X equal the number of penalty effects active on foe. Okay, so that means she can pretty much always use Flare.
Creation Pulse reduces her special cooldown count based on the penalty effects inflicted on her foe before the first attack during combat. In addition, according to plan, also reduces her foe's stats and increases her damage dealt based on the number of bonus effects she has and the number of penalty effects her foe has.
That's
How many
really...
foes have tasted my blade?
So this one's really debilitating. It reminds me of Robin, like Little Robin. It's got some of her stuff in it with like Hush Spectrum and whatnot. Giving Canto 1 to everyone is really awesome. It was so useful when I used it on Flame Tribe Tana for a long time. So that's really good. It's an all-around really good kit. It's a pretty busted kit. It's just kind of... I'm so upset about the art design of it. So...
His skill,
yeah,
according
it's
to
a
plan,
great unit.
inflicts penalty effects on groups of foes
I think
while granting Canto
it gives
to
off the
herself
same
and nearby
feeling
allies.
that
Her C skill,
what's his
Creation
name?
Pulse,
Male
reduces
Robin
her
had last
special
year, in which you
cooldown count
looked at it and
based
you're
on
like,
the
oh, this
penalty
is
effects
crazy.
inflicted on her foe before the first attack during combat.
And it's driving me nuts
In
that I can't
addition,
remember what her A
according to
skill is
plan,
called.
also reduces her foe's stats.
I
and
just know it's the
increases her
attack
damage
speed
dealt
version
based on
of the
number
one
of
that
bonus effects she
that
has
gives
and the number of penalty effects
that heals
her
you for
foe
7
has.
HP at the end of it.
How many foes have tasted my blade? Too many to count, and I assure you.
This
There will be
artwork
more
is
to come.
really cool. It's unexpected.
It's Felix.
It's different.
Who placed second in the men's
It's-
division.
In my opinion, it's weird that he's using 11 swords,
Feast your eyes on
but
the
maybe
outfit
there
of
were
a
some
sword savant
like
who has mastered
Felix
his study
builds
of both
with Levin sword that were really
swordsmanship and
awesome
reason.
in 3 Houses.
That
I don't know.
notched sword in his hand is a Levin sword. And with it, no one will stand a chance against Felix. His C skill...
Okay, so he has Endless Tempest. At start turn, unit can move 1 extra space. So he always moves 1 extra space. And I believe that can be given to anyone. If unit or foe initiates combat after moving to a different space, grants bonus to unit's attack, speed, defense, res, equal to the number of spaces from start position to end position of whoever initiated combat. And I'm sure this is going to be... This is probably going to be infantry only. And neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat.
Endless Tempest grants him 1 extra space of movement.
He has attack speed. It's like Excel or something. I can't remember the name of this. This is the new one that Bridal Sharena came in with.
At the start of the turn.
Which works
If he
really well
moves
with
before
distance
attacking,
type
he
stuff.
nullifies foe
So that's
stat
good.
bonuses. Plus,
Wait.
his stats increase based on the number.
Okay.
Endless Tempest grants him 1 extra space of movement at the start of the turn. If he moves before attacking, he nullifies foe stat bonuses.
So he just gets 2
Plus,
movements?
his stats increase based on the number of spaces he moved.
What now?
These effects also trigger if a foe moves before attacking Felix. His weapon.
Alright, new Levin Sword, accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -2. Max cooldown count cannot be reduced below 1. That's awesome. I think is that the first time we've ever gotten like accelerate special trigger -2? Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75%, or if the number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1, grants Spectrum 5 to unit, grants bonus to unit's Spectrum stats equal to 15% of unit speed, neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit, and reduces the percentage of foe's non-special, reduces damage by X% skills by 50% during combat.
Skill, new Levin Sword,
That's a little
increases stats during
disappointing.
combat and reduces his special cooldown count by 2. This
It's
magical
really
weapon can be
speed-based,
effective
and the
against
problem
foes
with
high defense
being really
and allows him to
speed-based is you
counterattack
get
from
power
a
creep.
distance. And he can take extra.
Also, he's taken like 3 turns. If a skill compares unit speed to a foe's or ally's speed, it treats unit's speed as if granted +7. If a unit has not used or been the target of an assist skill during the current turn, grants another action to unit and inflicts isolation on the unit and pair-up cohort through the next action in the following cases. Unit initiates combat, or unit took action without entering combat. Okay. So that explains him moving to here, and then he just gets to move again. He has more movement than anyone in the game right now, essentially. He has 6 movement. I think, is there anyone in the game with more movement than him? The only one that could possibly get more movement than him now is like little Robin with that C skill that he has, Endless Tempest. Let's see the end of it. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, or if the number of allies adjacent to unit is less than 1%, grants Spectrum -5 on foe, deals damage equal to 20% of unit speed, and reduces damage from foes' attacks equal to 20% of unit speed during combat. And also, when a foe's attack triggers foe's special, reduces damage by 20% of unit speed. Yeah, there's too much based on speed here.
Extra actions with his B skill, Lone Wolf. Should he continue to defeat his foes, or should he retreat? I sense new strategies on the horizon.
Yeah, I don't remember
C
Gus.
skill, Endless Tempest, grants him 1 extra space of movement at the start of the
I
turn.
don't remember what Gus does.
If he moves before
But-
attacking, he nullifies foe stat bonuses.
See, he attacks
Plus,
here.
his stats increase based on the number
Then
of
he goes in
spaces
and
he moved.
attack.
Now.
These effects also trigger if a foe moves before attacking Felix. His weapon skill, New Levin Sword, increases stats during combat and reduces his special cooldown count by 2. This magical weapon can be effective against foes with high defense and allows him to counterattack
Oh,
from a distance.
it's Gus that gives him the
And
extra
he
attack.
can take
That's
extra
right.
actions with his
I
B
couldn't
skill,
remember what
Lone
Gus
Wolf.
did.
Should he continue to defeat his foes, or should he retreat?
So he essentially has 3 movements with Gust. It's as cool as this is, I'm gonna say this one is the most likely to get power crept extremely quickly because of how much speed is required. I'm also interested to know if the attack speed Excel if that counts for all, like, from where he started initially, like, all the way up to here, or if it only counts for the most recent 3 spaces.
I sense new strategies on the horizon.
Overall, I'd say Robin is better.
So,
Like, it's
what do
too
you
tied to
think?
speed.
Do I look fancy?
This artwork looks phenomenal.
Aww,
This is
it's
the best
Bernadetta,
artwork.
winner of the women's division.
Her face is a
appears as a
little weird, like her
bow
chin, but
She's looking mighty strong in that purple armor that matches the
but
color
otherwise,
of her hair.
I just love the cape and
Bernadetta is a
everything.
talented archer, and I, for one, can't wait to be dazzled by her acute bowmanship. Her C skill,
Okay, so we have a C skill, Paranoia. At start of turn, grants null follow-up to unit and grants Paranoia to unit and allies within 2 spaces. Grants null follow-up to unit and grants Paranoia to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn, and deals 1 damage to unit and those allies. Okay. At start of turn, if unit is within 5 spaces of a foe, inflicts penalty effects active on unit on closest foes. Inflicts penalty effects active on unit on closest foes and any foe within those 2 spaces of those foes, and neutralizes any penalty effects active on unit. So she, like, does a penalty transfer, I guess. I think. At start of combat, if unit's HP is less than or equal to 99%, grants attack speed +5 to unit and neutralizes effects that inflicts special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. Paranoia. At start of combat, if unit's HP is less than or equal to 99%, grants attack +5 to unit during combat, and also if unit initiates combat, unit can make follow-up attack before foe's next attack, so Desperation. At start of combat, if unit's HP is less than or equal to 99%, if foe initiates combat, and if either the foe's range equal to the unit range, or the number of penalty effects active on foe, excluding stat penalties, is greater than or equal to 3, unit can counterattack before foe's first attack. So she also gets Vantage. Conditional Vantage. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy.
Paranoia, projects her own penalties onto her foes.
Okay.
On top of that, she grants her nearby allies Paranoia too, making them more powerful
Yeah.
if they lose.
I mean, that's look at, just look at the
Paranoia,
this small
projects her
tooltip for
own
that.
penalties onto her foes.
Whoop, no, sorry, not this.
On top of that, she grants her nearby
So Desperation and Vantage.
allies Paranoia too, making them more powerful if they lose just a little HP. That weapon in
Okay, the Inexhaustible enables Canto Distance Max 3. Love Canto Distance. Accelerates Special Trigger. Effective against flying foes. Unit attacks twice. Okay. So she's a quad attacker, maybe? I didn't see her stats. If unit initiates combat or bonus is active on unit, grants Spectrum 5 to unit, grants bonus to units, Spectrum equal to 15% of unit speed at start of combat, deals damage equal to 20% of unit speed, and reduces percentage of foes non-special, reduces damage by X% skills by 50% during combat. So once again, it's not the full amount, and a lot of it's tied towards speed, which
her hand
once
is the
again, I don't really like
Inexhaustible.
at all.
If she
got
initiates
48
combat
speed.
or has an
She also has
active bonus if they lose just a little HP. That weapon in her hand is the
she also has attack speed prime and the assassin's shot.
double. If she initiates combat or has an active bonus effect, her stats will increase
Quad
during combat.
attacking.
Plus, she deals more damage based on her speed.
Okay, I'm gonna do
Her
it.
Okay, curve shot boosts special damage by 30% of the greater of foe's speed or defense. Okay. If unit or foe's special is ready, or a unit or foe's special triggered before or during combat, this unit can attack during combat. And if unit can attack during combat, reduces damage from foe's next attack by 40%. Okay. Oh boy.
Special curved shot reduces damage dealt to her in certain conditions and increases the damage.
For Ike, how much damage
her
is there?
stats will increase during combat.
7
She deals
plus
more
17
damage
is
based
24.
on her speed.
Okay, I'm gonna do
Her
it.
special curved shot
24,
reduces
12,
damage dealt to her in
36.
certain conditions.
Plus another 8, so she does 44
and
damage.
increases the increase during combat.
Yeah.
Plus,
44
she
damage.
deals more damage
She
based
barely
on her
kills him.
speed.
Okay, I'm gonna do
Her
it.
special
And he didn't have any
curved
debuffs, he was
shot
just, like,
reduces
fully
damage dealt to her in
buffed up.
certain conditions and increases the damage she deals with her special based on her foe's stats. Other allies can inherit this special too.
That's pretty good.
I will work every day to be a king worthy of your legacy, Father. Please guide my hand.
It's Alphonse, winner of the men's division.
Sharena needs to win next year.
He appears this time in Gustav's garb. Aww, he looks so magnificent dressed like his father. Alphonse has grown to inherit his father's will. My heart flutters at the kingly aura that radiates from him. His special,
That's the way.
Makings of a King, can increase his damage.
Alright, let's see how busted this is. Look at that, he has more defense than attack. Boosts damage by 30% of units' defense, plus defense great talent when special triggers. Reduces damage from attacks during combat by a percentage equal to 40 minus 10 times the current special cooldown count value. Well, it's kind of irritating that when they show us, they don't tell us how many turns these have. I'm talking about their special abilities. At start of turn, grants attack, defense, res, and great talent +2 to unit, and attack, defense, res, great talent +1 to allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit. After combat, if unit's special trigger grants attack, defense, res, great talent +4 to unit, and attack, defense, res, great talent +2 to allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit. This skill grants a max of great talent +20 for unit and great talent +10 for allies. Okay, great talent adds value of great talent +X to specified stats until the end of battle. Max value of X is determined by the stat reaching the limit of 99. Each stat is so the longer the battle goes, the stronger you become. So you can sit at the bottom. Whoa, wait. So if I'm Alphonse on Aether Raids, can I just sit at the bottom, do nothing for 6 turns, and then with a what do you call it? With a Gale Force team, just go and slaughter everything, and I don't have to worry about any tanks because I'll have so much stats. I'm not sure.
And it also has an effect that empowers great talent, a new type of power-up. The value of great talent is reflected directly in the hero's stats. At the start of turns, and after combat in which Makings of a King is activated,
Of course.
great talent increases.
Yeah.
The great talent that is built up does not reset until the end of the map. And if certain conditions are met, he also increases his allies' great talent, thereby adding to their stats too. Not only
Stay
that,
focused now.
but with the effect of his
So wait, hang on. Let's
he
look. Let's
also
look here.
increases his allies' great talent. And if certain conditions are met,
So they focusing on defense here.
he also increases his allies' great talent, thereby.
Oh, okay. So the wording is so confusing. Attack, defense, res, great talent +2. So that means that at the start of the turn, it will give +2 to attack, +2 to defense, and +2 to res to unit. Okay.
By adding to their stats too. Not only that.
Oh wait, and one more.
The great.
If unit's special trigger grants attack, defense, res, great talent +4 to unit, and +2 to. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this is very good. It takes too long to build up. That's the problem. Yeah, it takes too long to build up. Like, if we're talking about Aether raids, let's say it takes 6 turns. Let's say you go 6 turns. That means in that 6 turns, he'll have great talent +12. And they'll all have great talent +6. If no one does anything. Now, if he attacks, you know, if he's able to attack a bunch, then that'll make a difference. But, I don't know. Let's see the rest of his stuff.
Talent that is built up does not reset until the end of the map. And if certain conditions are met, he also increases his allies' great talent, thereby adding to their stats too. Not only that,
Okay.
but with the
We have Majestic Glitner, enables Canto Distance +1, max 4, accelerated special trigger. At start of turn, if there's an ally within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, grants defense and res to unit for 1 turn, and unit can move 1 extra space. Okay. I love 4 movement units. And also, if unit's special cooldown count is at its maximum value, grants special cooldown count -1. If unit initiates combat, or if there's an ally within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, grants defense and res +X to unit, inflicts defense and res -X on foe, X equals 5 plus the number of allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit times 3, max 14. Deals damage equal to 10% of unit's defense, which is great because defense scales a whole lot better than speed in this game. Reduces damage from foes attacked by 10% of unit's defense during combat, and also, when special triggers, neutralizes foes, reduce damage by X%. So it completely neutralizes it. If unit initiates combat, or if there is an ally within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit after combat, if unit's special cooldown count is at its maximum value, grants special cooldown count -1. Okay.
effective his
So
weapon,
they're trying to get you to
Majestic
use it as much as
Glitner,
possible.
Alphonse's defense and resistance increase, and he gets +1 to his movement. His B skill, Reopening,
At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, inflicts attack -5 on foe, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack, deals damage equal to X% of unit's defense, and reduces damage from foes' attacks by X% of unit's defense during combat. Damn, that's pretty good. If unit can make a follow-up attack, or if units... Okay, that's just the parentheses.
reduces his foe's attack stat while reducing their special cooldown charge by 1. Plus, he does more damage based on his defense. FeH! His weapon skill and special also increase the damage he deals based on his defense, so he can really dish it out. After
And then Fortifications inflicts attack -5, grants defense and res +7. If unit is in a space where Divine Vein effect is applied, unit can counter-attack regardless of foe's range. This is awesome. This is so good. If unit initiates combat, grants defense and res +6 to unit and reduces damage from foe specials by 10 during combat. If unit has entered combat during current turn, after unit acts, applies Divine Vein Stone to unit space and spaces within 2. Okay. Yeah, this is... I mean, it's conditional.
combat, his A skill, Fortifications.
I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of
Divine
really
Vein
cool
Stone
things with
on the
Alphonse
area
here.
within 2 spaces of him when he ends his turn.
But
And
I have a feeling
if he
it's
is on a
not going to
space
work out
affected
like
by
people
Divine
think
Vein,
it's going to work out.
He can counterattack foes who attack from a distance.
I'm so bummed because I want him.
That's all for the famous introductions. The heroes chosen in choose.
All right. Let's talk about this real quick. I already know this has been a long video because we've looked at everything. Even though I hate the artwork, I think it's possible that the best unit out of this batch is actually female Robin. I was worried about her damage, but her damage seems fine. Because of the debuffs she's able to put on other units. And it's just gonna work out. And the Divine Vein Ice is so good. I can't wait till that's for other units. Felix is so tied to speed. He's gonna be great for a month, and then he's gonna get power crept, and then he won't be usable anymore. That's the thing that really sucks about him. He is a melee essentially triple use unit. Have we had a unit that can? I mean, it's basically Edelgard. She's the only one. So he's an Edelgard, but he's infantry, and his movement is a little bit more less restrictive than hers. But because it's so tied to speed, I think he's gonna get power crept really quickly. I think he's the loser of this entire thing, unfortunately. Alphonse, man, I'm worried. Like it sounds all really cool in theory, but I feel like he's gonna get power crept, or not power crept, but it sounds really cool in theory. But I think eventually, like, people are gonna realize it just takes too many turns for any of it to be worthwhile, and so from there you're essentially a stat stick. But you're a stat stick that will scale better into the future than he will. But eventually, I think he's also just going to be power crept. It's just, well, he will take 1 month. Alphonse will take 3 months. Meanwhile, she could very easily last until next year. Bernadetta. Like, I'm trying to remove my bias because I love Bernadetta, and this is by far my favorite art out of the entire thing. It's just, it slaughters. It doesn't slaughter these two. It absolutely trounces on this clone of artwork. Bernadetta gives out both Desperation and Vantage, which is pretty busted. And she has a really OP support capability. And furthermore, it's tied into her weapon and her special skill, which means if there are like specialty stuff that comes out down the line, like special skills, not assists, not weapon skills, not preferred skills. If she gets different special skills down the line, like even though the one she has is exclusive to her, I'm sure other people will be able to inherit it. And it's really good. If there are others down the line, she could probably swap that out without much loss, and it could be really good. Not to mention her B skill. Let me make sure. Her B skill and A skill can be swapped out for some really potent stuff as well. The point I'm trying to make is that, like, for Felix, his C skill has to stay there for him to be really good. It really does. So he can really only swap out his A skill. And you probably need you need Gust as well. Robin. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Robin. She also has the flexibility of Bernadetta, I think. So my point is that she's a little bit more future-proof, I think, down the line. Definitely than these two. Is she going to continue to be... Is she going to last as long as Robin? I don't know. But I think the two girls are definitely the winners this time around. The two guys even though they have really cool stuff, I think they're going to get power crept really quickly. Felix will be power crept the fastest. And Alphonse will be like really cool on paper. And then it won't take much time until people realize that it's just not feasible to do what you want to with him. Trying to think of a good example of a recent Choose Your Legends unit in which we're like, man, this is going to be so sick. It's going to be so OP, and it just didn't work out the way you wanted it to. I think Gatekeeper probably is a very good, is a pretty good example of it. You know, things work in theory, and then you're like, he needs a little bit more to push him over the edge. And I think that's probably where we're headed this time around. I can't even remember who we had last year. We had male Robin, who I remember was like pretty much undisputed the winner last year. Corrin, which didn't work out. Who else did we have? Was it a Lear? No. Brave Gulaveg. And then I can't remember who the other male was. But I think Alphonse is headed for that fate. Like, it's going to be like, wow, this is cool. And then it's going to be like, okay, that didn't work out quite as well as I wanted it to. We'll see. I think from this, I'm definitely going for Bernadetta as my free choice, like, without question. I'm probably not going to pull on this because I'm still trying to get Mia, and then I'd really like to save orbs. I'm so tired of being, like, empty on orbs. So that's something I'll have to look at. And then I think for free tickets and whatnot, I'm probably going to go after Robin. Like, as much as I don't like the artwork, the things she can do is pretty busted. You know? So, huge disappointment for the artwork. Awesome artwork on the other three. The kits are all very interesting and different. They're fun. I am worried about power creeping very quickly for Felix and for Alphonse to not be as usable as, you know, we thought he was. And if Bernadetta doesn't have enough power, she will get power crept really quickly. However, she is, unlike the others, able to switch out her A and B slots to make up for that power. So that's the only thing she has going for her. But, I mean, otherwise, this is a great Choose Your Legends, I think, grouping. Probably better than last year's, to be honest. So, great. You know, hopefully we get Sharena next year. I'm hoping for Sharena next year. We'll see what happens. But the only thing I'm a little disappointed about is the fact that Bernadetta was a blue bow. Would have much rather a green bow, because like those green bow cavaliers like don't exist. Like the only ones that exist are the 3-star, 4-star Python, and I can't remember the other one. I kind of wish they had swapped colors, but it's okay. Otherwise, I think we have a cool setup this year. That's pretty much it for the entire FeH channel reaction, and I went through all the abilities. So like, even though they'll put out a video tomorrow about, you know, the different stuff, in all honesty, it'll be stuff that we already know. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Good luck on all your pulls out there. If I had a recommendation in terms of power level, unbiased, Robin, Bernadetta, Alphonse, Felix, I would go in that order. I'm personally going to be going Bernadetta, Robin, Alphonse, and then Felix. So, good luck to everyone out there with your pulls, and I will catch you guys next time. Neptork out. See you guys.